What is happening, everyone? Welcome back. In today's episode, we're going to bring you a brief review on TRON, or TRONIX. As a crypto broker, I get asked about TRON all the time, and to be honest, I may have been slightly unfair towards TRON in the past, as I've actually done very little research on it, and I thought today we'll bring you a brief episode on what TRON's all about, and in my opinion, if TRON is a safe investment, of course. Please keep in mind this is not financial advice, guys. This is just my humble opinion, and please do your own due diligence before making any investment in the cryptocurrency space, of course. Remember, I'm going to leave timestamps in the description and in the comments below for your convenience, so if you want to skip through to a certain part of this episode, go ahead and use that. Also, guys, if you've enjoyed this episode, please go ahead and give us the thumbs up. It really helps us to be found on YouTube. Of course, if you want some more news in the future, go ahead and subscribe. And then, of course, leave your comments below on your opinion on TRON. Is it a good investment? Are you invested in it? And do you plan on investing in it possibly in the future? Okay, well, let's get to it. I'm Maximilian, your crypto broker, and let's get started. Okay, great. So let's jump straight into TRON's price metrics for today. You'll see TRON at around 3 cents right now, down roughly around 9% for today, with a volume today of 196 million US dollars, an enormous amount of money going through TRON. They do tend to have a very high trade volume, so that's no surprise really for me. It clearly shows there's a lot of people trading this, and of course a lot of people with a lot of money invested in TRON. That's currently making TRON a $2 billion cryptocurrency, and making them the 15th biggest crypto on the market as of today. Just to show you another representation of where TRON are right now, it's a great website called All Time High Coin Index. So TRON's all-time high was just over 30 cents. That was achieved on the 5th of January this year. Again, it's now at 3 cents, down just under 90%. When it was at its all-time high, it had an enormous market cap of 14.7 billion US dollars. Now, let that sink in. That's an enormous amount of money for a project that was pretty much unknown for a long period of time and just went absolutely wild as people started buying it up. Again, the market cap right now just over $2 billion, down 86% from its all-time highs. Great, so that's the scenario of TRON right now. What I'm going to do first, though, I'm going to jump straight into TRON's website, take a quick look through it, and explain TRON in a nutshell. So this is their website. TRON, decentralize the internet. So as it says, decentralizing the internet has been something that's been talked about in a few different projects. I know Substratum are trying to do something similar. But if you scroll down and read through some of the things that TRON say about their project, as I've said, TRON are looking to decentralize the internet, and coming from China, I can understand that value proposition. Of course, the Chinese government do make it incredibly hard to, have fun on the internet in China, or be able to freely navigate the internet. It's riddled with rules and regulations. So the value proposition for a decentralized internet coming from a Chinese company, I can really see why people would be interested in that. Moving on, the TRON protocol, they say, is one of the largest blockchain-based operating systems in the world. It offers scalable, high availability, and high throughput support that underlines all the decentralized applications in the TRON ecosystem. Also, TRON strives to build a decentralized internet infrastructure that allows everyone to freely create content, websites, and applications without relying on a centralized service. By empowering the users, we will transform the internet on a global scale. Cool. So, very, very ambitious. Obviously looking to, change the way that we look at the internet. Just scrolling through their website, To be fair, not a huge amount of information here. They do have a few, lines just to describe what they plan to do. So first impressions of it, I wasn't totally blown away. But then again, a lot of projects do sometimes come out with really basic websites and do rebrand, and of course, as they become more and more popular. So let's move on to a few positives about Tron and why people have been so interested in this project. Cool. So first reason why I actually did today's episode was a tweet that's just come out yesterday evening. In terms of analytics and social analytics, in terms of how popular certain coins are. So the tweet reads, "Crypto coins with the highest number of mentions yesterday. Tron has risen recently and is now ahead of Bitcoin Cash and Ripple." So that's quite a big deal, considering how well known Bitcoin Cash is, and of course Ripple has been around for ages. If we look at some of the metrics here, they've got Bitcoin, of course, well ahead. Actually, not that well ahead, but Ethereum just behind it. Then Tron in third place here with 8,479 tweets. As you can see, they've done pretty well in terms of creating a little bit of a hype through social media. So I thought, there's got to be something again that I've missed out on. Let's dive a little bit deeper into Tron and why people are talking about it so much. So there we go. First of all, let's move into a few positives and a few things about Tron and a few tweets that have come out from them just recently. The next tweet is from the main man behind Tron, which is Yushen, or otherwise better known as Justin Sun to us in the West. The tweet reads, "I'm honored to say that after 3 years of hard work, I've graduated from Hoopen University. Very grateful to Principal Jack Ma and school board for the invaluable mentorship and affirmation on this amazing journey." So if you aren't familiar with who Jack Ma is, he's actually the founder and who's in charge of Alibaba, which is China's most important and biggest company. He's one of the richest men in the world. He is a billionaire and obviously has mentored Justin and his class through their time at Hoopen University. Just a few pictures here of Justin and Jack Ma. I think there's one or two others here of the class as well. So that all looks pretty positive. It gives him a little bit of credibility that he's standing shoulder to shoulder with one of the most important entrepreneurs in the last 15 to 20 years when it comes to the internet. If you're not too sure who Jack Ma is, like I've said, a founder and executive chairman of the Alibaba Group, real net worth of $38.8 billion, and incredibly well known. So do go check him out if you want to learn more about Jack Ma. Moving on to another positive in terms of a few tweets that have come out of Tron. So this is a tweet here from them in terms of their testnet. So Tron have just recently released news that they have finally released their testnet. And they've gone ahead and marketed it fairly well, and have got a, billboard up on Times Square on the NASDAQ billboard. This is obviously, really good for people to take notice of Tron, but it isn't really that special anymore. We have seen other projects do the same. I know I brought you an episode the other day from Elastos, and they did something similar. So that is very cool though, but nothing special right now. But still, a good way to market your product, and also again giving Tron a little bit more credibility to the average man or woman walking down the street, of course. Next is another tweet from sorry, that should have been paused, from Justin. So this is basically a press conference for the release of their testnet. So it's pretty much like an Apollo-like mission a press conference with their developers to celebrate the testnet release. So I'm just going to show you a very brief, I think it's 15 seconds from it. Let's start from here.
8年的开发计划。
Before TRON, I worked at Alibaba, managing data mining for advertisement and big data platforms. I'll talk about the testnet and our 2018 development plan.
经过 Q1 的紧张开发，我很高兴地告诉大家，TRON终于达到了测试网的状态，版本号是奥德赛 1.0 版。
After some intense work in Q1, I'm proud to say that TRON has officially activated testnet, Odyssey 1.0.
Well, there we go. You get a good idea of, how seriously they take themselves, the TRON team. Not the most stacked team in the whole world, just the 5 of them sitting there. So that I thought was quite interesting. Again, they do a lot to try get their name out there and to market their product and market their updates. And a testnet update is a big deal, so kudos to them for taking it so seriously and doing a press conference like the way they did. Then moving on to another tweet is in regards to how many nodes they've got on the network now since their testnet release. So it reads, it took TRON 3 days to launch 126 nodes in 5 continents. So he's obviously spelt continents wrong, of the world. United States is the top one with 50 nodes. China, Spain, Vietnam, Germany, India, and the UK is doing great. So if we just look at this image here, just kind of make out how many nodes are in each country. So, they've very quickly got their nodes up and going. I'm certain a lot of these are really, really hardcore TRON supporters that have decided to, to support the network when it comes to nodes. So yeah, again, that looks pretty positive in terms of TRON. And then lastly, when it comes to some positive news out of TRON, is that they have recently released a game, their first game, similar to Crypto Kitties, but it's more based on crypto doggies. So I hate to say it, but obviously quite a blatant ripoff. If you scroll down, it's very, very similar to Crypto Kitties. You can buy your crypto doggies with either TRON or Ether. But I'll come back to this a little bit later and its significance to TRON. Cool. So, those are a few positives, but, there's always 2 sides to every story. So, let's take a good look at a little bit of the FUD or a little bit of the negativity surrounding TRON since its inception. So moving on to the first story here, it's not necessarily brand new, but because I'm doing this review for you guys, I thought you should know this stuff. It's from January, and it reads, TRON's white paper appears to plagiarize from Filecoin and IFPS. So that's not good, obviously. Plagiarism in crypto is quite rife, to be honest, but it shouldn't be rife from a $14 billion company. So just an extract from here. It says, the charge was brought to light when Protocol Labs founder Juan Bennett tweeted out a picture alleging that at least 9 pages of TRON's English language version white paper were copied from either the IPFS or Filecoin papers, both of which Bennett had co-written with other members of Protocol Labs. So if we jump into the tweet here, it's just going to say, whoa, absurd. TRON's paper is mostly copied from other projects or is super basic P2P passed off as original with 0 references. There's an image here kind of going through the paper, how the introduction is all, their own work. A little bit of the middle here, very, very basic in terms of their contract. There's a big part here which has been totally copied. And then more parts here which are similar but not totally similar, and there are absolutely 0 references. So yes, a lot of different projects use ideas from other projects, but they do go ahead and reference those ideas, and that's that's all okay. This is an open source industry. all of us do need to learn from one another to make this digital economy what it should be one day. So that's fine, but with zero references, I'm sorry, but that's total copying, and that's plagiarism, and that's not right, especially from a company that's got such a massive following and has got a huge amount of money involved in it. So yeah, so that's not great. That's really some serious FUD. That's been around for a while now. Maybe not as prevalent in the news as it used to be, but this is the truth. Since then, Tron have actually removed all their white papers from their website, the Chinese, the English, and any other copies they had. So I don't know. You make of that what you must. Why should they remove these white papers if they're legit? Moving on to a little bit more FUD. This was really big, but it's never really been proven. Tron accused of selling more than 6 billion TRX. CEO Justin Sun defends himself. Now, this came out about 3 months ago, I believe, when, like it says, 6 billion Tron tokens were moved from a Ethereum wallet to numerous different exchanges. So that obviously raised a lot of concern, and someone went to Reddit and posted a post about this particular movement in terms of the tokens. That led to a lot of FUD and speculation, and which ultimately led to a massive decrease in the price of Tron. But are the rumors true? So Justin took to Twitter again to defend himself, but did he put his foot in it? So let's take a quick look here. So his first tweet reads, "The Reddit account is not my account and also a foundation account. It belongs to our private investor and market maker. We don't have an account in Gemini.com. The market maker uses an account to trade and increase the liquidity of Tron and not sell Tron." Now, first and foremost, he speaks about this guy like their buddy, like our private investor who we know is a market maker. That's not totally unheard of, but let's come out and give a little bit more transparency. Then, if it's not you, Justin, then who was it? Let's have his name. Let's find out where he is. If he took part in your pre-ICO, did you not have any KYC details of him, so on and so forth. Move on to the next tweet directly after that. He says, "I think the funny part is that the market maker has the same first name with me and registered himself on the Crypto Kitties. It is very unprofessional. When it comes to registration, I use my Chinese name Yushin rather than my English name." Okay, so it kind of sounds like he once again is trying to move the speculation away from him. And sometimes when people come out and say these things, they're doing it because they feel guilty. But this has not been proven as of yet. But like I said, make of it as you must. If we move on to the whole scenario of him calling himself Yushin when he creates anything online. We can go on to this Crypto Kitties account that Justin said was not him and was actually this gentleman that was selling 6 billion Tron tokens. So the name of the Crypto Kitty account is Justin Pets. So strangely enough, with the first name of the Tron founder. We look down here. This is the Crypto Kitty, which looks pretty darn average. And then you can look at the address here. The address you'll see ends in 92A. We'll come back to this in just a minute, just to show you the wallet address that was sending all this Tron around. Moving on to the next little article here, though, is a screenshot from when Justin did a live stream for their release of that Crypto Doggies game, which I showed you just earlier. And this someone actually realized on the game that he had called himself Justin Sun. So he did say just previously in that tweet that whenever he creates something, he uses his Chinese name Yushin and not his English name. Okay, cool, that's fine. But then why did you create your crypto doggy with the alias Justin Sun? Yeah, so that was a little bit strange, and I think that is not necessarily very transparent. There's something there that is not right with me. It doesn't sit right with me. Moving on to that wallet address that I said, it's got the same address as that crypto kitty. As you'll see, it ends in 92A, as I said, with the same as this crypto kitty here. In this address here, you'll see token balances. Yeah, you'll see enormous amounts of Tron was sent out. 400,000 Tron, 90,000 Tron, 91,000 Tron, 100,000 Tron, yeah, just like, wait, is that 100 million? I don't know. That's a huge amount of crypto, really, sent out from the same account that is owned by that crypto kitty, which is called Justin. So yeah, so it all kind of looks a little bit fishy to me, and I think, in my honest opinion, that if we were to put all these coincidences together, that someone's looks really blatantly guilty, or someone is, doing really well to frame the CEO of this company, Justin Sun. There's also quite a funny tweet, just to finish off today, that came after this from Charlie Lee. He said, he always looks to cause some trouble. He said, "I pre-mined and dump Tron with my buddy Justin Sun and his investor Justin Pets. You got me." So I don't know, I think it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek that Charlie Lee himself can also see that clearly something is fishy going on here, and he was accused in the past for dumping his Litecoin. It was nothing like that at all, though. He actually did it for a very good reason. He believed it's best for an owner of a cryptocurrency, or maybe a founder of a cryptocurrency, not to own any of its assets or its crypto, because it can be manipulated, and of course he would be biased towards it. So he did sell it, and good on Charlie Lee for selling it near the top at around, I think it was 300, in the latter $300 odd dollars. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for it today. I just did a brief overview of my thoughts and the kind of details that are out there when it comes to Tron. Remember, this is not financial advice, so please do go ahead and do your own research and due diligence on Tron. To be honest with you, I don't own any Tron. I don't plan on investing in any Tron in the near future, and I do recommend, if you are planning on throwing some money into Tron, to really take a good look into who is behind it. It seems like Justin Sun, or Yashen, seems to be the main man, and let's say, for example, he is to disappear, what would happen to that investment? Again, thank you for watching, guys. Please do give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to get some more news, and in the comments below, leave me your idea of Tron. Is it a good investment? Is it a scam? And could you potentially make some money from it in the short to long term? Till next time, though, guys, I'm Maximilian, your crypto broker, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Cheers in.